Good morning, everyone. What's up? It's a fun group. Hello. The sun is super shiny in my face, so that's kind of cool.
Browser.
It's 9:31 by my clock, so let's um let's get started. Okay. Appreciate everybody jumping on the Zoom call. That's awesome. And yeah, we'll get kind of moving here. If you've never practiced yoga before or you've practiced yoga a bunch of times, that's awesome. I might ask a couple of things of you that might be new, and I'll try to walk it through you. And we always kind of say in my practice that if you can, you must. Okay, so just try it on. It might be something new, it might be something different, and that's always kind of fun. So we'll start to arrive here. If you've got a mat or carpet or whatever you've got going on here, we'll make our way to our space. And we're going to start off with some cat cows. And how we get there is we'll be hands and knees on our mat. And I like to really kind of intentionally spread my fingers out wide on the mat or the floor. Pull the core in nice and tight. And then with an out breath, we're going to take cow pose. We're going to drop our belly, lift our gaze up high. And on that breath in, we're going to round our back, cat pose. Everybody breathes different rates. It's perfect. Just try to let your breath be your guide here as you kind of open up and close off, rounding the back, and then opening back up with your breath. It's awesome. You take like 5 rounds, cat, cow. No rushing. You're doing perfect. After maybe your 5th round or whenever you feel complete, we're going to start to work our big toes to touch and work our knees out wide on the space of our mat. Sink back into child's pose, drawing those hips back towards your heels. Fingertips start to stretch out in front of you. Keep those fingers spread out wide, intentionally, just very active. Head's going to start to come down to the space of the mat, almost like a box stretch in CrossFit. Really nothing to do here, just finding a point of rest. Take this next, I don't know, however long we have together on this Zoom call. Just think of it as an opportunity just to be present here, not with like the to-do list in your head, just kind of an experience in your body, seeing what's tight, what's interesting. Start to deepen your breath, taking nice big full inhalations in and full exhalations out, big exhales out. Awesome. And keeping that nice deep breathing in and out. Hips will start working back towards the heels, maybe feeling that elongation through the spine as you're reaching those fingers forward. So good. Keeping your hips like they are, driving back towards your heels. Start to walk your fingertips over to the right side of your mat or the carpet, the floor, whatever you're on. You might feel some stretching out through that left side body. Find your end range of motion here. And deepen your breath. Inhale. Fully exhale all the air out. Couple more rounds. Deep breathing. You're doing great. Start to come back towards center, child's pose. Fingers reaching out in front of you. Nice, good stretch out. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale all the air out, walk your fingers over to the opposite side. Yeah. Find your end range of motion here. And allow maybe that deep breathing to return. Full inhale, big belly breath. Full exhale out. Yeah. Doing good. Couple more deep breaths. You're doing perfect. Start to walk your fingers back center. Child's pose. Nice deep breathing in and out through the nose. Keep those fingers spread out wide here. Take another big deep inhale here. And on the exhale, curl the toes under. We're going to take down dog. Letting those fingers spread out wide here on the mat. Hips start to work up towards the ceiling. Soft bend might show up in your knees. And think about trying to get the chest to kind of come in towards the thighs, creating an elongated spine. Maybe a little opening in the shoulders here. And as you arrive in down dog, maybe first down dog of the day, maybe it's not, maybe you took another yoga class, that's awesome. But however it shows up, just nice deep breathing. Take one more big inhalation in, and on an exhalation, walk your fingers back towards your feet, and then rise up to stand. As you rise up to stand here, feet are very active. Take your toes and start to spread them out on the mat, and then lift your 10 toes up off of the mat. You can really feel the four corners of your feet here pressing into the mat. And in yoga, in lifting, I mean, we really want to focus on our feet really being active, and think about that today. Feet staying active in any pose. And as we're here in this standing pose, we'll take extended mountain, reaching our fingertips overhead, big reach up, big inhalation in, and exhale, forward fold fingers towards your toes. And we'll hang out here, forward fold, maybe getting curious how our hamstrings, maybe they're tight, maybe they're open. It's perfect however they show up. From this forward fold, we'll take ragdoll pose, keeping that same forward bend, and we'll reach opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe introduce a little sway side to side. Keeping those feet active, maybe letting the toes come back down to the mat. Seeing what it feels like to keep the four corners of your feet pressing in towards the mat, the floor. As you're here, ragdoll pose. Just nice deep breathing, not worrying about the to-do list or anything like that. Just breathing and moving. Take another big deep breath in, and on an exhale, let your fingers come down to the mat. From here, we're going to walk our hands out to high push-up, high plank. In high push-up, high plank, think about pulling your core in. Core stays nice and active. Legs are fired up. Take a big, deep inhalation in, and then we're going to lower down halfway. Low push-up. Up dog, we're going to press through our hands. Gaze might start to look up at the ceiling. Take a big breath here. And on the exhale, downward facing dog. Taking this opportunity to reset our down dog. Hands are active, spread out. Soft bend to our knees. Take 2 more big deep breaths here. And on that next exhalation out, we'll walk our hands back towards our feet. Forward fold. Keeping that nice forward fold. Maybe if our hamstrings are a little tight, we keep a soft bend, that's perfect. But maybe trying on straightening out the knees just a little bit. Straightening the legs, feeling the hamstrings, checking in. Take 1 more big deep inhalation. Exhale all the air here. And then rise up to stand, extended mountain. Big breath in. Fold on your exhale, all the air comes out. Walk the hands forward, high plank. As you reach high plank, big breath in. Exhaling all the air out, low push-up. Up dog, full breath in here. Down dog, full breath out. Reset that down dog again. Take 2 more big deep rounds of breath in here. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in, and on the exhale, walk the fingers back towards your toes. Take that big deep inhale, big exhale out, rise up to stand, extended mountain. Big breath here, extended mountain. Fold on your exhalation. Walk the hands back out, high plank. Take that big breath of air in high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Doing so good. We'll take 1 more time through here. So after your next inhale, exhale all the air out, walk the fingers back, forward fold. Breath in, breath out, rise up to stand, extended mountain, reach it up, and fold on your big exhale. Walk the hands back out, high plank, big breath, lower on the exhale, up dog on the inhale, down dog, exhale all the air out, big breath out. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take warrior 2. So to get there on the right side, we're going to step that right foot through to our right hand. Arms are going to come out to a nice strong T here. So arms are at a big, nice strong T. Awesome. Think about that engagement of your feet, your core, and even your hands are really active. Your fingers are spread out. If it feels good, you feel a little tight, I mean, you can take a little motion here. I'm not the best dancer, so I'm not gonna bust some sweet dance moves for you. But it's almost a little bit of rocking sensation early in my practice, kind of feels good, kind of interesting, of little opening. Awesome. And I encourage you to find some stillness here in Warrior Two. Keep the core engaged. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip our top hand so our palms facing the ceiling. Left hand's gonna come around our lower back, almost like kind of corkscrewing around your lower back. Perfect, guys. And we're gonna take that right hand up towards the ceiling, reversing our warrior, maybe stretching out through that right side body. Finding that end range of motion here. Just see what it feels like, just to kind of let that nice deep breathing take over. One more big breath in, and on an exhale, back to Warrior Two, arms out to that strong T. One more inhale. On the exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, high plank. Breath in, high plank. Down to, and then up dog. Big breath in, up dog. Downward facing dog. Nice active down dog here, hands engaged, cores engaged. One more big breath in. Exhale all the air out, Warrior Two on the left side. That left foot steps forward. Arms out to that strong T. Each side might be a little bit different. Maybe this side just feels really good and you just find that stillness right away. Maybe a little bit of movement feels good here. Whatever it is perfect. When you're ready, go ahead and flip that top hand, reverse your warrior back, corkscrewing that right hand behind your lower back. Stretching out that left side body here. Stay with it for two more big, deep breaths. You got it. And on that second exhale, we're gonna bring our hands down to the mat. Lower down, low push up. Up dog, press through your hands. Down dog, exhale all the air out. Resetting that nice down dog, nice deep breathing. Maybe considering that down dog could be a rest pose. Maybe trying that on. Take one more big deep breath here. Big breath in. Exhale the air completely. Walk your feet forward towards your hands. Come up to a halfway lift, a flat back. And then forward fold. Awesome work. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna set up chair pose. So in that forward fold, I like to kind of bring my big toes to touch. Awesome. And then we're gonna sit back like we're in a chair, almost like a quarter squat. Bringing those arms up to like goalpost arms. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. And then from that goalpost arms, think about the shoulder blades kind of pull in. So good. Awesome. So option here, we're gonna introduce a twist on each side. So the options here, we bring our hands to our heart center, bring them to your chest. First option would be a T twist where we twist over to the right side. Arms are at a strong T, almost like Warrior Two arms. Other option, if you are feeling froggy, is we have our hands at heart center, and then we take our left elbow to our right knee. Keeping the hands in that kind of prayer position. Well, our hips are still active, still in that quarter squat. Look at you guys go, you're doing great. Take 2 more rounds of your breath here in the twist. Come back up to chair pose. Reset your chair. Awesome work. Hands are active, shoulder blades pull in. Core is really active here, okay, guys? Keeping that core active, bring the hands to heart center. And then find your twist on the left side. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's the same as the other side. It's perfect. You guys are so good. Stay with it for 2 rounds of your breath. And then come back up, chair pose. Take a big inhalation in, big breath in through the belly, and then exhale, forward fold, fingers towards your toes. From here, we're going to split our feet up about hip width distance. I like to kind of use like 2 fists put together is my guide. Sometimes we drastically overestimate the size of our hips. So it's a good guide for me. And we'll take our peace fingers, our 2 peace fingers on each hand, and wrap them around your big toes. From here, we can keep as much bend as we need in our knees to make this accessible. But if you're feeling a little open, start to straighten your legs, chest melting towards your thighs. Awesome work. Awesome work, everybody. As you work into the pose here, see what it feels like to let that deep breathing take over. Nice full rounds of the breath in and out. Your head just gets to hang here. Nothing to do, nothing to worry about. Just be in this experience. Take another big inhale. Fully exhale the air out. Start to release your fingers from your toes. Pressing the 4 corners of your feet down into the mat. If you need that guide again, kind of lift your toes up and then rise up to stand, extended mountain. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, fingers back towards the toes. Reset your feet here about hip width distance. If you need that marker, it's about 2 fists. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to set up gorilla pose. So we're going to take the palms of our hands to the soles of our feet. Keeping that soft bend to your knees as much as you need. And then when you're ready, start to feel what it feels like to straighten out your legs. Maybe in this pose, you're accessing a little more stretch through the upper back. Let your head just be heavy, get it hang. Maybe you shake your head yes or no. Just nice deep breathing. Two more rounds of the breath. And we'll start to release our hands. Rolling up to stand, extended mountain. Fingers go overhead, big breath in. Big exhale, forward fold. With our feet out a little bit wider here, yeah, maybe still hip width distance. I'll give you 2 options here. We can either take a nice deep squat, okay? Or if you're feeling froggy from that squat pose, we can take crow pose by taking our nice wide fingers here, placing them on the mat, creating a good strong base, almost like handstand hands, okay? And then knees come back to triceps, and then rocking forward, arm balance. Yeah, trying it on. One of the things that kind of helps me in crow pose is think about that cat pose, almost that cat pose here in crow. Awesome. Look at all those fun crows. Yay. And we'll work our way back to that deep squat. Take a couple of breaths here if you want to introduce a little movement. See what you freed up. Perfect. Take one more big round of breath. And then come up to stand, power up through your stand. Awesome. So nice, strong stance here, almost like we're standing at attention. What we're going to do here is we're going to introduce a little bit of stretch here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that right foot, step it forward. My back foot is at about a 10 o'clock position. Got my feet out a little bit wider, you know, not like I wouldn't describe it as like on train tracks, but a little bit wider here, okay? From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingertips overhead. Not really have it. There we go. Fingertips overhead. Core stays active, nice and tight core. Big breath in, and on an exhale, fingers start to work towards that extended right leg. And just allowing that collapsing in here towards that right leg. If you want to create a little more sensation, think about pulling kind of that right butt cheek back to the wall behind you. Straightening out that right leg. Maybe creating a little bit of sensation there, a little bit of stretch. Nice deep breathing. Take like 5 full rounds of your breath here in that nice forward fold. And when you're ready, maybe after that completion of that breath, you start to rise up to stand, bring both feet in line, almost like we're standing at attention. Reset the nice deep breath, nice rhythmic breath. We're going to take it on the opposite side, so we're going to step that left foot forward. That right foot, then it'll be at like a 2 o'clock position. Might feel kind of interesting to kind of play with the width of your feet, you know, create a nice stable base here, okay? Fingertips will go overhead, take a big inhale, and dive it forward on the exhale. So good, everybody. Find that nice end range of motion, whatever that is for you. Take 2 more big, deep rounds of the breath. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. One last round of breath. Big inhale. Fully exhale. Bring both feet together. Rise up tall, extended mountain. Fold forward, fingers to toes. Halfway lift, a flat back shows up. Plant the hands, high plank. Think about that core staying active, legs are fired up. And then start to slowly lower down all the way to your chest. As you come here, lying on your chest, maybe it feels good to rest one cheek. Just allowing the breath to kind of just start to slow down. Back to that nice intentional breath. Take one more big round of breath. Inhale, fully exhale. We're going to set up locust pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to return our chin or our forehead to the mat. And we're going to interlace our fingers behind our low back. As we interlace our fingers, we're going to think about pulling our shoulder blades in together. And once we have that, we're gonna rise our chest and our thighs up off of the mat. Our gaze stays fairly neutral. We don't want to like crank on our neck by any means. But as you're accessing the stretch here, think about the shoulder blades start to pull in. As you access the pose, I would encourage you, like, don't hold your breath. See what it feels like. Can you keep breathing here? Maybe there's a little rocking sensation that shows up as you have that nice, powerful breath. Take one more round of breath and then release down to the mat. Maybe resting that opposite cheek if it feels good. Take one more round of breath. Return the chin or the forehead to the mat. We'll take locust pose number 2. Interlacing the fingers behind the lower back, shoulder blades start to pull in. And then when you're ready, start to lift the chest, the thighs up off of the mat. So good. See what it feels like. Can you even have the nice deep breathing even here? Awesome work. One more breath, and then release down to the mat. Maybe that opposite cheek rests again. And we're going to either take locust pose number 3, or if you like, or you practice floor bow, we're going to take that here. So we're going to return our chin or our forehead to the mat. If you're taking locust, go ahead and interlace those fingers. If you like floor bow or you want to try it on, we reach for the tops of our feet. And then we lift the thighs, the chest up off of the mat. Awesome work. Yeah, look at all those floor bows. Awesome. Just because it's a fun Saturday class, if you're in floor bow, holding floor bow, go ahead and roll over on your right side. See what that feels like. Yeah, dope. Keeping that floor bow here on the right side. Awesome. Come back through center, work your way back through center. Try it on the opposite side, left side, roll over to your left side. Check that out. So good. Come back over to center. And then gently release your hands. Feet come down to the mat. Head can return back to the mat. So it feels good. Sometimes I like to kind of windshield wiper my legs. I'll bend at the knees, kind of windshield wiper the legs, loosen up the back. Yeah, a couple of breaths here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to skip all the push-ups to get there, and we're just going to make our way to our seat. Feet will come out in front of us. I mean, if you want to do the push-ups and stuff, that's cool. But we're going to make our way to our seat, finding our sit bones here underneath us, both feet out in front of us. Feet are going to be active here, like just like we're standing on our mat and we spread our toes out. What would that feel like here? We can get curious about that. And as we have this nice strong base, core is active, chest is proud, fingertips will go overhead. Take a big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, fingers towards your toes. If that's a little tight, go ahead and bring a little soft bend to your knees and think about bringing the chest towards your thighs. So good. Take a few rounds of the breath here. Big inhale. Full exhale. Nothing to do, just breathing. We're going to start to make our way out of the pose here, back to a nice seated position. We're going to take a single leg extension. We're going to take that right leg is going to stay out long. That left foot is going to come in towards your right thigh. Might need to adjust your sit bones a little bit. That's perfect, whatever you need. Right foot stays active. Think about spreading those toes out. Get interested in that. Fingertips will go overhead. Big inhalation. And on the exhalation, there's a slight rotation of the trunk over that extended right leg. Same thing here. If you need to bring a little soft bend to your knee, perfect. Perfect, however it shows up. Take a few more rounds of the breath. Maybe one more big deep inhale. Fully exhale. Start to work your way out of the posture. Extending both feet out in front of us, and we'll take it on that opposite side. That left leg stays long. Right foot comes in towards left thigh. Feet are active here, left toes spread out and interested. Send the fingertips overhead. Big inhale, fully fill up. And then big exhale, all the air out, fold over that extended left leg. Two more big rounds of the breath in. Exhale out. Last one, big breath in. Big breath out. We'll come up to our seat. Both feet will be out in front of us here. We'll take a little butterfly pose. Adjusting our sit bones as much as we need. We'll bring both feet together, driving the soles of the feet in together. I like to kind of reach for my toes a little bit here and take a big inhale. And on the exhale, start to fold forward. And we keep folding forward until we hit that end range of motion. Once you hit whatever your end range is, it's okay to go ahead then and start to round the spine if it feels good. Just allowing the breath to be nice and steady here. Couple more rounds of the breath in and out. You're doing perfect. Start to release out of the posture, coming back up to a nice sitting position, both feet out in front of you. From here, we're going to kind of work our way into our final sets of postures. We've got the feet out in front of us. Maybe spread the toes out again. See what that feels like. And then lay back on your mat. Shoulder blades come in contact with the mat here. And give up any like deep intentional breathing that you were doing and just return back to your normal breath. Normal ebb and flow of the breath. Start to draw the knees in towards chest center. Hug them in. Maybe a little rock side to side if it feels good. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a supine twist to the right. So what we're going to do is think about our shoulder blades staying in contact with the mat, maybe our arms out to a nice T, and then allowing the knees to start to drop towards the right side. Your gaze, your look is going to be over your left shoulder. Just your normal breath in and out. Start to come back to center. Hug the knees in. Feel what you feel here. And then the arms come back to that T. Both shoulder blades in the mat. Supine twist left side. Knees start to work to the left side. Both shoulder blades grounding down to the mat. Your gaze starts to go over your right shoulder. Start to bring your knees back to center. Give them a good squeeze in. As you're squeezing your knees into your chest, think about squeezing every muscle. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take one more big, deep inhalation in. And on the exhale, let your feet start to go long on your mat. Arms down by your side body. We're going to take rest. Deep rest, final pose, Shavasana. Your gaze might start to soften. Maybe you close your eyes. Just letting a feeling of heaviness start to take over. Nice feeling of heaviness. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Maybe take a couple like wrist circles, ankle circles, a little bit bigger motion, okay? And if it feels good, go ahead and start to stretch your hands up over your head and stretch your toes in the opposite direction, like a good morning stretch. And when you feel complete there, we'll work our way back up to our seat. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today. That's awesome. Hope you have an awesome Saturday. It's sunny. It's supposed to be like 60. Get outside and maybe do Brooklyn's crazy workout that he has for everybody. I don't know. It'd be fun.
Thanks. That was a great class. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Be well, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
What are you, Angelina? Peace sign.
Thanks, Marty.
And be well.